Perfect. And first, thank you so much for playing and sharing. This is a wonderful experience. I also want to thank Craig, but I'm curious about the process a little bit. And did you tell him the story first, or he composed the music and then you fit in, or?
Oh, it's really interesting. It took a year and a half to do to make it, because neither one of us knew what we were doing. It started the day I asked Craig, could you do a project with me? He was teaching a group of teachers how to teach music during math class to help with math. And on the way to the parking lot, he was carrying his equipment. And I said, I have this idea for a piece. It's about my family, but I need a composer. And he normally says no. No, I'm not available. He said yes. And he told me later the reason he said yes was because his grandfather had passed away, and the funeral was the day that he had to do this workshop. And he couldn't go to the funeral in Wisconsin, and he was pretty upset. So when I asked him, would you help me write this, whatever it is, about my family, immediately he said yes. He didn't know anything else. He just felt. So it started with, I would go to his house for about a half an hour and tell him stories, and this went on for months, and nothing came out. And then all of a sudden, he started writing music and saying, okay, play this. And then I would play it and say, this is so American. This is too American. And he said, but I'm American. And I hear this story with my language. So he kept writing this style of music, and then over time, we would take some music and we would say, wow, that sounds like this story. So we had a big piece of paper and we were writing down the stories, and then we were writing down which piece of music went with which story. And then that's how it was put together.
Not linearly. That's really
It was organic. And then we had a big fight about the slow movement of the Mozart Clarinet Concerto, because he wanted it all to be original music. He didn't want to have any, other composer. And the day I was arguing with him, I went into my car and I started the car, and there was the Mozart Clarinet Concerto. And I ran back to the house and I'm banging on the door, Craig, you have to come and listen to what's on the radio. And he came and sat, and it was the Adagio movement of the Clarinet Concerto that I was trying to get him to agree to. And he just said, okay, look, we can use it. So that worked out great.
Did you ever identify, I forget if you said, did you identify what your mother used to play? Those few little melodies?
Yes. Yo soy la viudita del conde del rey, me quiero casar y no sé con quién, con esta sí, con esta no, con esta señorita me caso yo.
So it's a
folk song about someone who's deciding who they're going to marry. And it goes, with this one, yes, with this one, no, with this one, I'm going to marry.
And she played that over, that's all she would play.
She would just play that one.
That would be it.
That would be the melody that she would play.
At some point, I'd like to either read the last couple lines from that page that you read from the thesis, unless you want to read it again. It's just the last couple lines.
Okay. It's a really beautiful book. This is the opening page. It's all hand calligraphy. And this is where she's given the origin of music. And you can see that the entire book is very complex theory.
When you said it was a thesis,
Like a high school thesis, or
No.
is she in college?
This is a master's thesis.
A master's thesis at 17.
Yes.
What time did she start college?
Did she start? I have no idea. This is the opinion of those people who are sensitive. And they judge this to be true because harmony had no antecedents. And considering music as the sublime art to be purely a human invention, to whom, if not for the supreme being of everything, would it be useful?
For the supreme being. Say that again, please.
Yeah.
If not to whom? If not for the supreme being of everything, would it be useful?
That's why I wanted to hear it.
Very-
And it's a great ending, and I wanted to get a better bite on it.